name is D'Lo Jordan, and this is VENUM. Welcome to The Void. This is episode 26. Be sure to check out the video description below this video. There you'll find all the little links to the projects I'm currently involved in. Patreon.com, $4.99 gets you access to exclusive content there. There's a link to my web store, social media, yada yada yada. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Click the bell to enable notifications. It's the only way to be notified when a new video is uploaded, right? Today, I'm talking AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming. This was the edition of AEW Dynamite from December 15th, 2021. Winter is coming. Well, winter came. Too bad nobody else did. So the big topic I want to address, the thumbnail, if you will, was this Bryan Danielson versus Adam Page match? Was it a disappointment? Was it a mistake? Did this match come off flatter than a plate full of piss? What went on here? What's the dealio? Now, you might see, social media. Social media can be a polar, fucking toxic place. So you might end up seeing different opinions if you have people who talk about this sort of thing on your timeline or your Facebook or your Twitter, your Instagram, whatever. I happen to not. So the thoughts and opinions expressed here are solely that of myself. So for me, this match, while it was a fine match, while it was executed well, and you can't mark them off for any wrongdoing in the within the confines of the match itself. Just the booking of this was, I didn't like this. This was a disappointment to me because let's get into it. It was the first match, so let's get into it from the top. AEW Dynamite, Winter is coming. This is the second edition of Winter is Coming. We had one last year. I'm pretty sure I wasn't watching this program at that time. So Dynamite went on air. They were live from Garland, Texas. Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Taz were on commentary. And they sent a shout out to Jim Ross, who is undergoing radiation treatment for his skin cancer. Suddenly, Bryan Danielson's music started playing. And one of the announcers, I think it was Excalibur, said, "We're going to kick things off with the world title match," which I thought was a bit strange. They're putting this on first. So that was weird. Danielson, just going to call him Bryan. Bryan was out first. Makes his entrance. Adam Page was out next. They had in-ring introductions for both men, as is tradition for title matches. So the match got underway, and first thing I noticed is the fucking pace of the match was snail-like. Like, there was just a bunch of nothing happening in the beginning of this match for about 9 minutes. It's like this match was like stuck in fucking bumper to bumper traffic for the early goings there. This is where I'm watching. This is where I started to panic, and I'm thinking, what was the time limit allotted for this match? I was trying to recall. I began to realize that they were gearing up for a long fucking match. Around the 9-minute mark, and so like around the 9-minute mark, I started realizing, okay, nothing still hasn't really happened, you know. Like for me, this match had very little anticipation going into it, you know, from my perspective, because Page is the new world champion. He just beat Kenny Omega at the last pay-per-view, and Page hadn't wrestled a single match since he won the belt. He's just been whatever. He hasn't wrestled a match. The build-up to this thing with hang on here. Let's go ahead and beautiful. The build-up to this match with Bryan beating a bunch of fucking clowns in the Dark Order was laughable. It was like he was virtually abusing children. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't heat. So I wouldn't have classified this as some heavily anticipated world title match. The story, like I said, just wasn't going into this. The story just, it hasn't been very good, right? It hasn't been very good in my opinion. Like, Page hasn't been coming off as that cowboy shit, kick-ass fucking world champion that everybody wanted to see. He's just been kind of fucking hanging out in the background, basically. So these are some of the factors that went into this match sucking. The match didn't suck. Just the booking of the match sucked. So, sitting there and I'm like, this match is transpiring in front of me. About 12 and a half minutes into the program, the match finally started showing a pulse. Like, even the announcers sounded at times like they were struggling to come up with shit to talk about. You know, like the guys would just be laying in the ring in some kind of hold of some description, and the announcers would just be struggling to come up with shit to talk about. So, like I said, this thing just happened in front of me. I can't really remember spot for spot, sequence for sequence. Spot for spot, sequence for sequence. I don't think anyone can. This match was long as shit. But I wrote down some notes here. There wasn't a whole lot that stood out from this match. It was technically sound, hard hitting, and physical. Both guys are professionals. I did note here at one point, Adam Page did a dive, and he wiped out Bryan on the outside. Suicide dive, boom, Bryan's down. Adam Page, from that moment, turns his back to Bryan Danielson, and he just starts to ascend to the top rope. He just starts climbing the turnbuckle up to the top rope without ever looking back. He never turned around to see what Bryan's positioning was. He just, boom, dive. Went from that dive to immediately climbing the turnbuckle. Gets on the top turnbuckle and does a fucking moonsault. And boom, Bryan's right there. He lands on him. I'm watching this. Mind you, the last time Page laid eyes on Bryan is when he did that dive. From the dive, boom, knocks down Bryan. So, am I to believe that Adam Page climbed to the top rope with the intention of doing a moonsault on Bryan Danielson still laying on the ground? Because he never looked back to see where the fuck Bryan was. So how did he know he would be in position to... So, stuff like that takes me out of it. it's just like, of course Bryan gets in position because, it's just like, so how the fuck did Page know where to aim his moonsault? It's just 30 minutes into this fucking show, I was bored out of my mind. This match was still going on. 30 minutes into this fucking show, this match was still going on. Now, personally, I'm not too keen on wrestling matches going more than 15, 20 minutes. That's as long as I want to watch any especially if it's a singles match. This wasn't even a tag team or a gauntlet style match. It was just two people for fucking 30 minutes in the ring at this point. The same two people. And it's like, my personal preference is I don't want to see any match of any sort go longer than 20 minutes. That's the fucking cutoff point for me, personally. Other people might like to sit there and watch a fucking 2-hour epic. I'm not on board with it. So, at one point, Page is on the top rope again. Basically, like he was trying to do another moonsault to the outside floor like he did earlier. Bryan fucking shoves this guy, and he does a front flip senton onto the apron, and then falls to the fucking arena floor. And I'm sitting there like, that looked like it sucked. Ugh. And then, but it's just like, There was a spot where Bryan pulled. All right, found the mouse. Eventually, there's a spot where Bryan's got Adam Page by both wrists, and the ring post is between them. So they're on the outside, both of them. They're in the corner, standing on the arena floor. Bryan's got Adam Page by both his wrists, and he pulled Page shoulder first into the ring post. He did it 3 times. And then Bryan hops in the ring and started posing and celebrating. When the camera, I'm swearing to God to you, when the camera cuts back to Adam Page, Page is bleeding from the forehead. Page is bleeding from the forehead, and I don't know why. Page is bleeding from the forehead from getting his shoulder ran into the ring post. So this match was extremely frustrating. It just wouldn't end. It just would not fucking end. I've got it on good authority that this match is still going on right now as we speak. It's fucking Thursday. My God, who asked for this? The booking of this match, I think, was a mistake. Was this the longest match ever held? This fucking thing went 60 minutes Broadway. It went to a 60-minute time limit draw. So nobody won. What the fuck? So this ended up being a 1-hour wave of the middle finger. Just sit there and watch this mid-presentation for an hour, only to have no decisive winner, right? So this was WWE Monday Night Raw behavior. It went on for fucking ever, and nothing was accomplished. I think the booking of this match was a mistake. I don't know. So it's like nothing was accomplished, no winner. What a wretched sequence of events. Like I said, the actual in-ring match was fine. It was good even, but the booking of a 1-hour time limit draw on this supposed big TV event winter is coming. I just wasn't a fan of this. It just felt like a waste of fucking time. It was uninspired. I woke up twice during this match. Woke up. I don't know. This might have been more acceptable on a pay-per-view card, but I felt like this just devoured a bunch of fucking time that could have been used elsewhere. You know, gotten some other people on the show. This just devoured a bunch of time, and then there was no conclusive, no decisive ending. It was just, oh, it's a draw. Fuck you for investing your time in this shit. So, to answer the question, was this match a disappointment? In my opinion, yeah. It was a just... If they would have had good 15, 18-minute match and just have fucking Paige win. Just have Paige win. I don't get what's going on. So what's the story here? Bryan, his thing is just going to 30-minute and 1 hour time limit draws. That's his thing. He can't beat the world champ in a fucking hour. And the world champ can't put away this fucking challenger in an hour. It doesn't make anyone look good. Does not make anyone look good. This was fucking rotten. This was fucking rotten. So this 1 hour debacle comes to an end, and we cut backstage for an interview with the Super Click and Bobby Fish. There was like some goofy music playing, and they said a bunch of shit. I didn't listen to a single goddamn fucking word any of these clowns said. Not a single fucking word registered that these fucking clowns said. So after that, we're back in the arena. Wardlow makes his entrance. It's going to be a one-on-one match. Wardlow versus Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal was already out there. No entrance for you, Matt. At this point, I was exhausted from that opening first hour. I was struggling to fucking stay awake at this point. Wardlow kind of picked things up by quickly just destroying Matt Sydal. Multiple power bombs. At one point, Shawn Spears just grabs a live microphone and, oh, put him away, Wardlow, put him away. Let's go. Like, how is this allowed to happen? Why is this mic live? Why is it turned on? Why does it have audio during the middle of this fucking match? What is the logic in this universe? What are the rules? What are the rules? What are the rules? For fuck's sake, what are the rules? So Wardlow powerbombs Matt Sydal and wins. Post-match, Shawn Spears gets in and attacks Matt Sydal with a steel chair. Then he allegedly gets a phone call from MJF, who instructs Wardlow and Spears to go pick up some champagne. One of the announcers then pitched to a video package and said, let's take a look at this emerging rivalry between Ty Conti and Penelope Ford. Who? I've written here, let's not. Let's not. So needless to say, fast fucking forward all the way to Ty Conti saying, I hope to see you Friday night at Rampage, bitch. So after that, there was this vignette of Malachi Black in some location. It appeared to be some religious church house of some description. And my takeaway from this little scene, it appears Malachi Black is starting a cult. So I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Back in the arena, Serena Deeb made her entrance. It's going to be a one-on-one match between Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida. Right? So Shida was out second. Serena Deeb is a very good wrestler. I'd put her on the level of Bryan Danielson, in between the ropes. Hikaru Shida, I could see why she might have a large following and people could get into her. I'm having a hard time. Not sure why, but at this point I was fighting off sleep. That first hour had killed me dead, and there was nothing really exciting to follow it up. And now these two women are just kind of meandering through a match. And fucking Shida won with a jackknife roll-up. Shrug. Before Shida could even make it to her feet, they pitched to the back for an interview with Tony Schiavone and the Varsity Blondes. So Tony basically brings up what happened last week with old Julia Hart, where Malachi spit the fucking liquid in her eyes, sort of. I mean, he's so far away, the fucking liquid didn't even make it to her face. But we'll skirt past that. So Shivani holds the microphone for Griff Garrison, who basically calls out Malachi Black and, says he wants to fight. He wants revenge for what Malachi Black did to his sister and Julia Hart. Basically, their sister and Julia Hart. Brian Pillman Jr. basically tried to hey man, think this through. Black's a dangerous guy. Basically tried to calm down Griff Garrison and Pillman basically had a little mini fight, and Garrison fucked him off and said, no, I'm challenging Malachi Black, and they're going to have a match at some point. Next. Eddie Kingston had an interview hyping a 10-man tag match for Rampage, where he's going to team with a bunch of Hispanic people. Santana and Ortiz, and the Lucha Brothers, who, if we've forgotten, are Rey Fenix, Penta, El Cero Miedo, the Lucha Brothers. So Kingston announced his team, and I'm not even sure who the other team was. 2.0 and Bad Body Garcia, and who the fuck else knows? I don't care. Once you get past a 6-man tag, there's too many people on the fucking ring. There's just 8, 10, 12. Fuck all that shit. I'm not watching any of those matches. And yeah, they're talking about Rampage. I don't watch Rampage anyway, so I won't be seeing any of this shit. So, whatever. Back in the arena. It's main event time. MJF makes his entrance. He walks out with a microphone already in hand. I'm not sure where the fuck he got a microphone from. Live microphone. It's turned on. And MJF begins to talk shit on CM Punk. He begins to trash talk CM Punk. Diehard AEW fans are not going to like this episode because this show was shit. The show was shit. The show was low effort. We don't feel like writing a show, so let's 1 hour is the Bryan, Danielson, Adam Page match. That's what it felt like to me. It just felt like a fucking lazy, low effort show. MJF begins to verbally shit on CM Punk. Then he kind of transitions to his opponent tonight, Dante Martin. The people start chanting "Shut the fuck up," which, like I referenced on VENUM 25, the NXT 2.0 review. The NXT 2.0 audience was chanting "Shut the hell up" to, have some kind of decorum about themselves. But here, these AEW fans are just chanting "Shut the fuck up" on network television. Eventually, Dante Martin came out, and like I said, this match is the main event. Dante Martin versus MJF, and it's for the Dynamite Diamond Ring, following up from the Battle Royal last week. Dante Martin eventually gets in, takes his ring jacket off, and he was as white as a sheet of fucking copy paper. He was so fucking pale, he was damn near translucent. So fucking Casper the Friendly fucking Ghost gets in the ring. So these two lads, they had a match. They tried real hard to dig this show out of the fucking gaping hole it found itself in after the first hour. God damn it. Dante Martin has some freaky athletics. It's outstanding. I'd be actually interested to, follow his career trajectory and see how he develops, because right now he's just athletically he's a fucking notch above. He could use about 15 to 20 pounds and a tan, but for right now, it is what it is. Everything else will come with time spent in and around the business. At one point, MJF is standing on the outside of the ring. Dante Martin leaps to the top rope, not in any of the corners, just the top rope, executes a shooting star press. To the outside, he overshoots MJF, clips MJF with his knees, and lands face first, boom, on the arena floor, nearly killing himself. And I'm just like, he just splat on the fucking arena floor. And I'm like, well, that looked dangerous as fuck. The fuck was that? Like, some of this shit's unnecessary. He could do one less dive and nobody would. I don't know. It's his bread and butter, and it's also the reason why his brother isn't here. You do this high risk shit long enough, eventually you're gonna get fucked. And right now, his brother's getting fucked. Where the fuck is Darius Martin? Where has he been all this time? He's fucking injured because he's trying to do too much. That's what happens. So fucking Dante came seconds away from death. At one point, oh my God. At one point, Dante Martin had MJF in the corner, and he set up to do the 10 punches in the corner. And fuck, he was just blatantly punching just to the right of MJF's head and hitting the fucking turnbuckle. He just completely missed every fucking punch. This was so wretched and so rotten, I actually screen captured it. To make sure that everybody who watches this can see just how outlaw this was. I'd like to direct your attention to the Venomtron. So we're going to break this down. So that's Dante Martin. That's MJF's head. More specifically, that's his forehead. This is Dante Martin completely missing. Completely missing. They showed this. This is on live on national television. This is the main event. This is their output product. He's just missing, obviously, in front of God and everybody. Captured in HD for the whole world to see. So fucking, that's what we're working with here. When I say these guys need some seasoning, this is the type of shit I'm talking about. What the fuck is that? He ought to be ashamed of himself. Towards the latter part of this, both guys, in my opinion, they were looking tired. They just looked tired, and exhausted. Maybe they watched the opening match. I still don't understand what all this Team Taz business is about. Where the fuck is Lio Rush? What's the story? So fucking the finish to this match saw Dante Martin do his double jump moonsault, and as he's pinning MJF, Ricky Starks appears out of nowhere and puts MJF's foot on the rope. This somehow leads to MJF snatching Dante Martin and taking him down and tapping him out with armbar number 2 off the WWE 2K video game moveset. So there you have it. This fucking show just transpired. And it went out not with a bang, but with a whimper. Post-match, FTR come out to celebrate with MJF for reasons, but the fucking lights go out. The lights go out in the arena. And when they come back up, Sting and Darby Allin have appeared in the ring. Who turned out? The fucking lights! So last week we see that Malachi Black has an affair with the lighting technician. And apparently, so does Sting and Darby Allin. This is such fucking outlaw horseshit nonsense. Ooh, the lights go out and when they come back on, boop, somebody's appeared in the ring. This is not reality. This is not professional wrestling. This isn't anything. This is fucking stupid, and I wish wrestling companies on national television would stop fucking doing this. It makes no goddamn sense. This promotion needs to drop the lights off, lights on bullshit. It makes no sense. What are you supposed to believe? It only serves to verify that you can't believe in any of what you're seeing as a plausible reality. Just lights go off. Boop, lights are back on. How are we explaining this? The timing of it is inexplicable. It cannot be explained. So therefore, this is fake. So MJF and FTR got the upper hand after MJF gives Sting a low blow. And so they start beating down Sting and Darby Allin. When suddenly CM Punk, Cult of Personality starts playing. CM Punk runs out with a baseball bat. He chases everyone off. And then CM Punk grabs a microphone and challenges for a 6-man tag next week. And wouldn't you fucking know, there in the lower left, is a match graphic that pops up. It says AEW Dynamite Trios match live Wednesday. And it's got all 6 of these men's picture on it. The announcer said CM Punk, Sting, and Darby Allin versus MJF and FTR next Wednesday at Holiday Bash. Just booked by Tony Khan. What? Just booked by Tony Khan 10 fucking seconds after it came out of CM Punk's mouth? 10 fucking seconds after CM Punk says, hey, I challenge you all to a match next week. Oh, it's booked by Tony Khan. Just like that. Fucking snap your fingers and the match is booked. And what the fuck I go on? What kind of blood clot? What am I watching? There is no fucking thought put into the details of this fucking shit. 10 fucking seconds after CM Punk lays down the challenge, Tony Khan has booked this match for next week, and there's a little fucking graphic ready to go. What? On this live television wrestling program, 10 seconds after CM Punk says, hey, I challenge you, Tony Khan has made it official, and there's a fucking match graphic ready to go. A high quality HD match graphic ready to go. And I'm supposed to watch this program and believe and buy into any of this fucking bullshit with lights going on and off. And this is horrible. This was the worst fucking episode of professional wrestling I've watched. And I watched Monday Night Raw. I've seen Monday Night Raw. This is fucking garbage. So just in case the lights going on and off, just in case that wasn't a cue, if that wasn't enough of a fucking giveaway, here's more hammering home that this program is completely fabricated, pre-planned, scripted, written, and otherwise fake. I've written here, I'd rather be watching NXT 2.0. This was one of the most boring, illogical, uninspiring productions this company has ever put on. Winter is coming. Fuck winter. I'm not sure what the fuck a massive letdown this program was. This is what fucking happens when you try to keep your output at 11 all the time, and then when you put out a fucking 8, people are left disappointed. You gotta have ebbs and flows. Fuck. Hopefully these fucking people start realizing this. You know, Mello don't miss, right? Mello don't miss. But apparently AEW does. This fucking show was a huge miss for me. Huge miss. The first hour was a cure for insomnia. While a fine match, unless you are fucking fully invested in both Bryan Danielson and Adam Page, to the point where you're willing to support them financially, you would have been hard pressed to get into that first fucking 1 hour of the show. Everything subsequent was just stuff happening. It was just stuff happening. And by the end of the show, this was some of the most garbage, outlaw, fucking illogical bullshit I've ever seen. They're not even trying, I don't think. How do you write this down or come up with this idea? Okay, yeah, this is what we're going to do. This makes sense. This is so not based in reality. And here's the thing, you know what? If you like it, if you watch it, you had a good time, you enjoyed it, more power to you. This was, for me, personally, this was awful. Awful, awful, awful. Awful, awful, awful. I cannot say it enough, awful. I will say it one more time, awful. That was AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming from fucking December 15th, 2021. By the end of this thing, was damn near in a comatose state. subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Click the bell to enable notifications. It's the only way to be notified when a new video is uploaded. That is all I got for you on this episode. So at this time, I'd like to bid you all adieu. And until next time, I'm D-Lo Jordan. And this right here, this is VENUM.